can't be arsed. It's too sunny.
At least it's nice and cool in here for now.
Yeah.
Because this side of the gaff does not get much sunlight till afternoon.
Just mute that.
And you're just recording your own audio as well there.
Apparently, I haven't muted the stream.
Fair
Which I've
enough.
never had to do before.
Well, we are now live. Welcome to the stream, guys. We're just getting settled in.
Hello, dudes. Andy here, painting Legion of a Damned, Dodge painting Typhus.
Typhus. The blue Typhus.
Yeah, a blue Typhus. I'll probably be hopping onto my Demon Prince at some point, and maybe a couple of random Marines whilst I'm waiting for stuff to dry. So this is, as we finished on Thursday, so I did a little bit of work on the crewman after the stream, and now I'm going to go back and do all that same work on the rest of it. So crew, all three crew are done now, including the little, what are they called? Including the inside, inside of the cockpit, all the buttons and.
Yeah, there's photos on Instagram of those as well now. Yeah, you've really gone to town on that cockpit.
Yeah, the inside of the cockpit is a little bit crazy. But even you can see there the targeting reticule there, which is actually attached to this part of the canopy. And now I've got to do all them flames all up the sides, and I've never done flames by hand on anything this big. It's all been on infantry type stuff, so hopefully the technique will pass on nicely without too much issue with glazing. I've got a ping somewhere.
You've been pinged.
I have been pinged.
Put a bit of the Cabalite green in there as well. So that's milk green and Cabalite green, because we're gonna start adding some of this Nurgle in, I think. And the Cabalite green is a slightly blue hue to it, so it should match pretty well.
So I'm going to use black grey and dark reaper for the. No, not. I'm going to use flat black.
Flat black. Got it.
And dark reaper.
Dark Reaper.
I've got it here. For the first edge highlights of the vehicle, as I have done with the infantry as well.
Actually, can I get some of that Dark Reaper, mate? It's from here, isn't it?
It's one you've been using, yeah.
Yeah, it's one I've been using. Don't want to start mixing up my paints and then forget one. It's the main problem with this technique, remembering what paints went into making what colour. And as they blended on the model, makes it a bit more tough. Now, where to start?
There you go.
Cheers, bro.
So, I'm going to start off on this part, because I've already got the base colours done. The lightest, darkest highlights, should I say. I'll get it right. Then I can put that bit to bed and move on to something a little bit bigger. So that was the first mix. Yeah, that's Dark Reaper, pure there. So I'm going to go over with Fenrisian Grey in that section.
Yeah, currently I am just going over the back bit here with Vallejo's Polyurethane Surface Primer German Dark Yellow, because I obviously don't want to be painting yellow straight over black, so I'm going to need some primer, something solid to make a base layer.
I'm just doing parts of the edges now, because I've got a full edge highlight with the darker shades. As you can see, I've gone on the inside to completion. I don't know why I didn't do it on it all at once. Probably big brain thinking on my part.
Let's get on there. There's always some bits of flesh you miss with the Nurgle models. I have to go back in, do them again.
I just do that normally. I'm always missing something.
There's a lot of details on these though. And they have the problem of figuring out which bit's which.
Yeah, until you get paint on certain sections, you can't always tell what's on the other bits.
Not sure what I'm going to do with the Man Reaper at the moment, so I'm just going to put some prime on it so it's easy to paint over later.
Pink.
We have some bizarre colour combinations. I mean, Typhus could have ended up being pink if that's what our last picked.
That would be weird and kind of cool.
You can make it work though because of the flesh, so it'd be a rotted flesh pink.
Yeah, that'd work. And a touch of Hellbound flesh for the final highlights on that section. So then I have now got all my armour paint to hand. It's not going to need a lot because obviously it's a very, very vibrant colour even on the Fenris. And it's not going to go on every section either, just where I want the light to really hit most. You know what I mean. Struggling with words today.
Struggle with words every day.
And obviously I've left the right big thumbprint there. So that's helpful.
Nothing you can do about that now.
Hopefully I can wipe it off. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd found like an old one where you primed it and then put your thumb on it.
No. Bright, blooming, greeny blue.
Yeah. On Thursday we were getting the feet done here on Typhus. Obviously I can't remember what colours they were now. But I've got most of my colours on the palette already, so I should be able to figure that out.
Back into the black, just to tidy things up a bit.
Back in black.
I listened to that earlier.
Hmm?
Yeah. Had AC/DC album on.
Always a good choice.
Cranked up as well, obviously. So it weren't just me listening to it.
Oh, everybody.
Everyone who was driving near me was also listening to AC/DC.
That's how it should be in summer. But it won't officially be summer until you hear Will Smith's Summertime on the radio.
I'm going to struggle to listen to that.
Because you don't listen to the radio.
I don't listen to radio channels where I was going to play it.
The heat this weekend was bloody nuts.
It has been somewhat mental.
Right, trying to figure out where to go with this.
I'm just going to quickly get the highlights done on this bad boy, so I can glue this part together. So this is a approximately 50-50 mix of black and dark reaper.
So it's a dark reaper.
It's a really dark reaper, yeah. Been in the sun too long.
Wouldn't that make it paler?
Maybe. Till it cooks.
Yeah, I suppose. It dries out. I bet somewhere in here there's some more fleshy bits.
The Nurgle model, so
yeah,
pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, I know I'm going to be missing something. those pipes just like normal pipes. I was kind of happy with the way the bone was coming out with the pinks in it. Don't know what I was using that was making it so pink. I don't see anything pink on that palette.
Well, that's it. It's the way your V paint's got
Oh,
to go
yes,
with
I
that.
do. I think I found it. It would have been Games Workshop's Bugman's Glow. It's a base paint, so it doesn't lend itself very well to the loaded brush technique.
No, 'cause it's quite thick, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes it harder to move around. That's all the colours on my palette. Quite a few. I kind of want to start with the Nurgling, but I need a bit of time to get my painting skills back up because this technique doesn't seem to want to stick. If I take a few days off, the painting's nowhere near as good. Kind of frustrating. Just trying to decide whether to make this little bit here fleshy or not. Right. So what are the announcements that are supposed to be coming out today?
So today it is non-codex chapters rules. So
Okay.
obviously we've had the Codex Marine stuff.
Yep.
And so today is what's it? Blood Angels, Space Wolves, and Dark Angels, and anyone else who, and Templars. Basically, the ones what either ignore the Codex completely, i.e. Templars, or
I was just thinking that.
pay a little bit of lip service to it, like the other three.
Yeah. Now, should be able to discuss those this afternoon.
Yeah, it'll be about 2 o'clock when the PDF goes up. So I will have a look at it, see what I think. Shake my head in disbelief.
And then try and process Games Workshop's weird decisions.
And then try and figure out how the hell I'm going to come up against that, because I ain't going to get anything like them sort of rules. Not that I'm salty.
You salty and getting frustrated with the non-traitor legions. That doesn't happen.
No.
More a bit of a Techless blue on this, with a little bit of the Mahove white.
It's not like I want to be mental, I just want to have a fair shot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But going, looking at the faction specific rule, what Chaos have, that's pretty cool. I like that. Get exploding sixes on demand,
Yeah, that's cool.
or auto wounding sixes on demand. It's very handy.
Can be very strategic.
Even
Like commanding your dice rolls, very handy. That's a bit out of focus.
and all you have to do is take a leadership test. That'd be after the action, not during, not before. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's nice. So you get a full firepower, and then you have to take a test,
That's cool.
and you get to do it in combat as well.
Very handy.
So it's like the previous doctrines from 9th. but whenever you want it, you don't.
Yeah.
And for whatever units you want it, you're not stuck in any kind of doctrine. You get what you want when you want it, where you need it. So I like that. I think that's pretty
makes
cool.
a big change to the game rather than always running the risk of failing. If you could control like the results get the results you need when you need them, it definitely help you out a lot.
Yeah,
you're always rolling once.
I've got to roll a lot of sixes for it to work.
Ah, well, that's you screwed then. Actually, not necessarily, because you don't have any mid-range dice rolls at all.
No, I don't.
You're either all ones or all sixes.
Yeah, there's no real middle ground with my rolling. So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So hopefully we're going to get some interesting unit rolls as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, it all seems pretty interesting at the moment. Usually is when a new edition comes out.
But just so much to absorb. There's like there's less, auras what dish out buffs, but every unit's got special rules. Although I was looking at the Loyalist Vindicator.
Yeah.
And I think Vindicators might have a bit of play. I think
They used to.
I think they're going to be good. It's like strength 14 gun, AP 2 or 3, damage D6. Short range, which
Yeah,
is
it's like 24, isn't
it's
it?
only 24, yeah. It's D6 plus 3 shots, which is pretty good.
That's not too bad.
However, it can shoot at units it's engaged with at no penalty.
That's interesting.
And it's got a 2-up save.
Nice.
Vindicators have got a 2-up save now. So I was like, ooh, that's useful.
Yeah, when I used to play, I've just used them as firing lines, really. It's like, keep the orcs at 24 inches away and just bombard them with this.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. It's exactly what you want to be doing with them. Just blowing the hell out of large units. But now, the fact that they can shoot into combat what they're engaged with is very interesting. Because and that's down to their seed shield. That allows them to do that. And I thought that was kind of cool. And the fact that they hit like a truck.
Yeah, that's what you want. If you're paying that many points for a tank, you want it to hit something hard.
But they're also fairly tough. With the 2-up save, toughness like 12. 11, 12 wounds. I was like, you know what? They could make some play. I may well invest in a couple.
Yeah.
Because I haven't got any. I don't have enough tanks in my chaos, in my Night Lords. So
You've got 3, I think, with the rhinos.
a couple of rhinos and a predator. Oh, and the land raiders. Well, I've got one land raider what's definitely Night Lords because it's done, and I've got one what's completely unbuilt, which I got for Christmas. And I keep changing my mind what I want to do with it, which is why I haven't done it.
You may as well wait for 10th to be fully out before you decide what to do with it.
It doesn't really matter about 10th because it's a matter of deciding whether I'm painting it blue or white.
Fair enough. Well, you don't have much in your World Eaters armies for firepower.
No. But you never know.
You don't really need it.
I have missed a trick where with my World Eaters. I was running that second detachment with the demons.
Mm.
And I should have run a second detachment of Chaos Marines and then put the Havocs in.
You Havocs that you can't use now because they're Forge World bits.
No, the Havocs for anti-tank dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, put the Havocs in as a Space Marine detachment.
Do.
Give it Mark of Corn. They're still World Eaters without the trait.
Makes sense.
I should have done that. Well, that would have given me the firepower I needed. But hindsight.
Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah. I realised that in the car on the way here. I was like, why did I not do that?
Yeah.
Because I'm a spastic. That's why. Let's be fair.
It's usually the case though. Do something in this hobby, change your mind.
So yeah, that Land Raider is still in its box.
gonna go back and do a little bit more blue on here. Realizing as well that it was a Incubi Darkness that I was putting in this to make it slightly more green than blue, and then when I've got around to doing the armour, I forgot that. So now the armour is a bit more blue than it should be.
You're right.
The Incubi Darkness is a much better tone for what I was trying to achieve though. It kind of sucks. I'm not going all the way back over it though. Just let that dry a little bit.
So again, this is back to the 50-50 of the
Dark Reaper and
Dark
Typhus.
Reaper and black. And just going around all the edges, keeping it neat.
This keeps going out of focus.
It does give me an opportunity to hold something while I'm not painting, which means it's easy for you guys to see. It's a slightly bigger part.
I'm assuming this technique's not the most entertaining thing to
Let
watch.
me see if I can get a better image. No, wrong button.
And as I go down the hand, I'm going to use that Techless Blue, but take the colour out using the Incubi Darkness, so it should naturally get darker.
Configure the video. Let's zoom in a bit. There we are.
Yeah, we should be able to see the colour transition down the hand as it now gets darker. There's a lot of detail on this.
Yeah, there is. It's a character model though, isn't it? And it's a Nurgle one at that.
Yep.
It's been so long since I've done any kind of work on a vehicle. Really refreshing, just having edges.
You're actually enjoying your edging.
Well, yeah, cause it's not glazing and over highlighting stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose it makes a change. There's a lot of repetition in this hobby.
That's how you get good at it though, isn't it?
Alright. Just keep going.
These high edges are a little bit looser than I intended, so I'm going to have to go back over with the black. Well, yeah, it's not the end of the world, is it? Let's be honest.
Add a little bit of Techless Blue into this. Top there. Then what we're going to do is blend that together back on the model. So what's everyone been doing on the weekend? The weather's been great, so I've just been chilling in the garden.
Mainly a bit of reading, a few beers, a bit of playing on the computer, trying to stay out of the way, because Sarah's been gardening all weekend.
Ah. Yeah, he was saying she probably likes that.
Oh, she loves it, mate. Which is great, because it means I don't have to. I don't have to worry about the gardening, because
She gets it done.
She does it because she enjoys it, so I don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Bonus.
There's a
You're
result.
just sat in garden reading your book.
Yep. Well, she's pottering about doing a gardening thing, and I'm like, could be
Yeah.
worse.
Don't
Be me
blame
having to
him.
do it.
Weather's been great for it.
Yeah.
Always end up going over the top with the black. Need to put more Incubi Darkness in there now.
I'll do this one as well. is convenient.
I'm going to need this a bit brighter as well. So again, more Techless blue, a little bit of Thunderhawk blue. And a tiny bit of the Mahogany white. It's always the same with those two colours, the black and the white. You need such a small amount.
My phone's popping today.
Add some more clean water to the rest of this surface, so that's going to need picking out some more as well. It'd be nice to have his armour actually finished.
It will be, yeah.
Just so I can see the overall look. And this is going to be darker, probably more of the Dark Reaper in there as well. I'm gutted I forgot that was what I was putting in, that was giving it that slightly green hue. But I showed the palette earlier on the live stream. There's a lot of colours in here. Very easy to forget which one you were using.
Especially after a couple of days.
Yeah, and they all look really similar. Incubi Darkness and a little bit of that Thunderhawk blue, the Dark Reaper. And slowly start blending that into here.
Alright, this is the Fenrisian Grey. And now I'm actually going to have to pay attention to what I'm doing. I can't just dump these highlights on because they're quite bright.
Paying attention, get that out of here.
I know, mate.
Then all I should do now is add a little bit of black to this bottom edge.
I do apologise for the wonky camera angle, but obviously this is quite a small part, so difficult to get it on camera properly. So I'm doing smaller parts earlier on in the stream when there's less likely people joining us.
Try to get them out of the way.
Yeah.
That seems to blend quite smoothly. This side's coming up okay. I'm just going to wait for it to dry to see the whole result.
I've been playing Pathfinder again over the weekend.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So my party's now wandering around the abyss. I've actually taken my group into hell.
That doesn't surprise me.
I was like, oh, cool.
So what's your group doing in hell?
At the minute, buying slaves.
As you do.
And this is on a good guy playthrough.
That doesn't surprise me with you at all.
Actually, I'm doing it for legitimate reasons rather than just slavery. I'm actually trying to release them.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, On my bad guy playthrough, I'm gonna have a lot more fun with that. I always played D&D as a good guy. Weird.
Any reason?
No, it's just most games. It's kind of odd. It's like most games, I tend to go towards villains. With D&D and that sort of game, I always seem to gravitate towards good guy characters. I'm not quite sure why. What the difference is in D&D and everything else.
Interesting one. Like, most games I play, I don't really get that choice. But,
That's why I like role-playing games, sort of things.
yeah.
You get the choice of being, a good guy or a hero or a grade 1 douche.
Morning, Martin.
Hello.
Martin's saying this model's looking good. I think I'm actually getting the knack of this technique now.
Starting to stick a little bit.
Yeah. Might not be the perfect brush strokes and technique, but that's going to come over time.
Yeah, that's it.
At least I'm getting the technique down to a degree where the paint is going on the model at quite a good speed. Which is definitely something I need to be working on. Remembering to actually wet the surface is a big part of this. But a whole other part of learning this now is the lighting and the colouring and how that works together on the model to make the shape look correct. Whereas with the glazing technique, you'd have plenty of time to decide where to put the next brush stroke or the next bit of paint. As I'm trying to do an armour plate in one go through, you have to get it right first time.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a bit awkward to learn.
Precision being pretty much everything and now and then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mouse just stick to make it up as I go along.
Hey, if it works, mate.
Mate, I don't even pre-plan where I'm putting highlights. I just figure it out as I'm doing it.
That's because your techniques have stuck and you're just like, I'll go here now. Like, it just naturally comes to you without having to think about it. Right, so that would be well more shaded, like a whole lot more shaded than the rest. So I'm going to go to the Incubi Darkness again and the Dark Reaper. Just make a really small bit there. So hopefully that's coming up on camera. There we go. Keeping the fine point on my brush seems to really help with this technique as well.
How dare they have music on next door?
Yeah.
Giving us something to
Hey,
listen
Martin's just become one of the boys.
to. What up?
Yeah, welcome to the members team. We need to work on that members stuff. It's supposed to have a bunch of stuff in it. I can't remember what we put as the settings, but thanks for joining the team, Martin.
Thank you, buddy. It's appreciated.
Sorting all that out is just one more of those lists, like one more thing on the massive list of jobs that get put behind. The list of things I should actually be doing is probably like 3 pages long.
Longer than the list of things you have done.
Yeah. Well, I end up doing stuff that's not on the list, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm so easily distracted.
And
It's like, oh, I need to do this for the Amazon thing and I need to do that. It's like, what did you spend the weekend doing? Getting drunk in the garden.
Elite club, damn straight. You're one of a crew now. You're stuck with us.
Part of the crew, part of the warg. I was making jokes about that ivy bush. Like, me and Joe, you know where the path is, and they got big ivy bush at the side of it, yeah? You just laid up against that trying to stay out of the thing, and already it feels like the ivy's growing around your neck. It grows that fast.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Oh, mate, it's probably trying to consume everything.
We've got ivy at the side of our front door,
Yeah.
and Sarah's always having to cut it.
Yeah, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Because it sort of grows out, you don't notice it, and then one day it's just...
It's there. You're like, wow.
It's there everywhere, and you're like, how did it get that big?
England's answer to bamboo.
Pretty much. The one we had, that was tiny, if we look through really old photos that we've got. So it's been like, I don't know, 13 years of it just growing there. So, I don't know, it kind of grows slowly, but we are cutting it back every summer.
You don't have much choice, because like I say, if
Marty
if you
says
leave
getting drunk in the garden's the better option anyway.
down straight,
So, yeah, screw doing actual jobs.
losers do jobs.
Right.
Winners get pissed in the garden.
Aye. Let the losers do the work. I think that's why dumb people end up in charge. Because smart people are like, nah, I'm good.
I'll be really in charge and not have to do any money, do any work for me money. I've done all the jobs. Someone else can do it now.
Yeah, muck this bit up. Tiny little circles with the thinness of the brush and then pulling it away, but as you can see there, I'm hoping you can see, it's started to dry, and now I'm just pulling the paint off the model. But that's the first time I've done that today, so that's not too bad. Yeah, this shoulder pad's looking good. I'm also going to try and stop getting large panels done in one sitting. It makes more sense, I think, to let that previous bit dry, and instead of going over that, just go next to it and just blend it that way.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, let's move over.
Plenty of space to play with, isn't there?
Speaking of which, we should have a gather again sometime soonish. Yeah, Martin, just... No, jump over me. You're always welcome. That's not everyone on the live stream. I'm not having everyone round.
Yeah, he is.
But I know Martin, so...
Everyone at Dodger's house.
Oh, mate, could you imagine the parties? Things get rowdy enough when there's just like 5 or 6 of us.
Yeah, it'd be good to meet you, buddy. You'll be unsurprised. Well, actually, I think it might be quite surprising how different I am to Dodge. We wouldn't normally
Wouldn't normally run in the same circles.
Yeah, that's the words I was looking for.
Yeah, I know what you were getting at. Weird though. Everyone has a little bit of something in common.
Yeah.
Ours happens to be painting toy miniatures.
And trying to speak.
Trying to speak, generally farting around.
You mucking about. You
Always,
is no walk.
always mucking about, mate. Now I have to colour match this.
Sounds fun.
No, it's going to be really difficult, damn it. That might be a good reason to get it all done in one movement.
I suppose both come with benefits and their own little problems, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you, Martin. Well, Dodge is one unique mofo. I think he means special.
I would have gone with just stupid.
That's true. That as well. Right, let's get some more water on there and try and get this shoulder pad finished. Gonna have to come up with something for these barrels here at the back as well. Think of some brass.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, just something
Especially in
to
chaos.
contrast against these blues. Right, so I know that's going to be the deepest recess, so I'm just going to start with a bit of the Incubi Darkness and a bit of Dark Reaper. You should be able to get a pretty good blend on there. I'm going to add in a tiny bit of black for that starting point of the shadow.
No such thing.
I always end up putting too much in there. I was faded out all my colour.
That's made it worse.
Yeah, I know.
I am such a child.
Yeah, we don't grow up, we just grow old. Martin was going to say special, but I didn't want to upset that group of people.
Fair dues.
Because they're a little bit special.
Watch him fall into the pool. That's diving.
At the Special Olympics. I mucked it up. I let it dry too much. That's going to be a problem as the weather gets hotter, like this.
Paint drying really quickly.
Yep.
Ah, yes, I do not remember that fondly.
No.
Trying to do that blooming skink.
Especially since you're doing glazing
I'm not, thankfully, I'm just doing edging.
at the moment.
Yeah.
But it will start to get hot in the studio at some point.
Yeah.
I mucked that up, so I'm just going to have to let it set and come back in. Yeah. The application went wrong, but the colour was correct, so there's a lot of back and forth with this model. Now I've got Special Olympics stuck in my head, thanks for that.
You started it. No, that was Special Ed though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Stephen Lynch is a dude anyway.
Yeah. Jen was saying he proper reminds facially and expression wise of Jim Carrey.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah, I've got it stuck in my head as well, so it's all good.
Yeah, me and Jen, obviously chilling in garden a lot recently, have seen a lot of random bird activity. And there's blackbirds that are trying to nest just other ways, they just keep getting attacked constantly. So they're always on guard now at the post outside our house, just like watching from a distance.
So, what's attacking him?
It was magpies, and they took out the magpie, and then the ravens having a proper good pop the other day. I don't know what was going on, but they were all over the place squawking at them.
I think ravens just do it because of dicks.
Yeah, maybe. But they were bringing like nesting material and food back, and now I don't see them carrying any of that, so unlucky.
What I saw an image. What is gonna haunt me. So it was two dolphins, both male, sexual assaulting an anaconda.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's going to be hard to unsee.
Yeah, that was something what I've seen and I cannot unsee it. I was like,
How? I don't even know. Don't give me any more details. I don't want to visualise this.
river dolphins sexually assaulting an anaconda. It was bizarre. Whilst trying to eat it.
Does that make complete sense? Nature.
Yeah. So, thanks nature.
Like nature can be proper savage, like the baby caterpillars in the ivy bush and stuff like that.
Go on.
We had a whole nest of spiders in there at one point.
Yeah.
Proper tiny ones. And it's just how brutal it is. It's like tiny caterpillar, like it must have just hatched proper tiny. It dried out in the heat and just died.
Oh.
It's like, imagine that, you're basically just getting your bearings, you exist for like half a day. And you're like, Jesus, it's hot out here. Ah! And then you're dead. It's just like, yeah, life can be a bit of a twat.
Yeah, nature is brutal.
That's an email.
I had to say that thing with the dolphins, I was like, seriously, what the hell?
And that one's from Amazon. We have some very weird discussions on our channel that's about paying 40k.
Well,
You just can't talk about 40k all day.
no.
That's one reason not to become a store manager. It'd drive you nuts. Right. Need some more highlight in this corner. Hopefully this is dry enough now for me to put some more paint on. Gonna go Dark Reaper. And then
One of the midtones in there.
that seems to be about the good match, so let's pull that into the shade.
Well, I was thinking about doing a little segment on like the weekly of weird news I found.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Rather than an actual news bulletin, just random weird stuff.
Yeah.
I've found what's happened. So that's an idea I've got.
I like it. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Stupid news with Andy.
That's like every day. It's like every day when you get in.
I found out this, so therefore you have to know it.
Well, I might opt out of this education program you've got.
It's not really education, it's usually something retarded.
Yeah, it's stuff that's stupid that no one else would ever remember, but for some reason your brain just absorbs that information.
I don't know why, it's weird. Hey Andy, this will never be of use. I guess that's gonna stick then.
You know, that came out pretty smooth there. I'm getting the knack of that. Yeah, I think I'm getting some improvements. That's something. It may not look like much to everybody else, but getting more of a feel for how this technique's working for me. And, you know, what the actual technique is, rather than just mucking around trying to get it to work. Knowing me, I'm probably still doing it all wrong.
Nah, be right. Seems to be working for you.
Yeah, that blend's not as smooth as it could be, but considering it's one of the larger panels, I'm not too bothered with it. It's starting to look alright. What's going to be the most difficult is learning how to colour match. I've seen some crazy people on the internet though with colour matching.
Yeah.
It's just like they slap down a bit of paint somewhere and then they just like mix it up two other paints within like seconds and making the exact.
Side.
That must be a like really handy skill in this hobby.
Must be. Sadly, it's a skill I don't have, so I wouldn't know.
No. Skills, those are what normal people have.
I've got deficiencies.
But we have them in abundance.
Yeah.
So on some minute level we win.
I did see one bloke, a guy completely winning at bluffing his ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was an army video, and the bloke was under a vehicle. He had his hands wrapped round the exhaust whilst he was asleep, and he had his phone playing tinkering sounds. So it sounded like he was.
That's awesome.
I was like, "You win at bluffing your ticket, my friend."
Yeah, that's awesome.
That bloke deserves an award. I was like, "That's brilliant." That is elite level slacking off.
Get this man a medal.
That's a bloke to be emulated. You know what I mean?
Aye.
You should aspire to that level of slacking off.
Tiny bit of black. Back to the incubi darkness. Try and blend that before it dries. You can see that corner of the shoulder pads already started drying up, so it's not going on as well as it should. This will be a problem as the summer kicks in. And
So will motivation though. So.
yeah, it actually is kind of motivating to be in here. It's a lot cooler than everywhere else.
Yeah, but I've got a couple of good books to read. I could be sat in my garden.
You could. What books have you been reading?
Currently reading the Night Lord trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Again.
Again.
Yeah, I've read it a couple of times.
You need some new books.
And once I finish that, I'm going to be reading the the Jackson Crawford translation of the Poetic Eddas.
Yes, it's a good book. My favourite one though, the one where Odin's just taunting Thor the whole time for no reason, just because he's just being a dick.
That's Odin for you.
Oh, it's hilarious though. What say you now? Oh, it's hilarious.
So I'm going to torture my son.
Yeah, he's just being a proper wind-up merchant for no reason.
Just because he can. Like, because it's Wednesday or something. Like, right, screw you.
It's the story where the
Is it a fishing one?
where the quote comes from was like, "My name's Harbard. I seldom lie about this," and it's actually said in Vikings as well.
Yeah.
When Ragnar, well, not the camera. When Ragnar's telling his sons about that story,
Yeah.
and they're talking about Harbard, it's like, "I seldom lie about that," which means yeah, he often does, but I think, but yeah, it's just a sarky git.
It's like, I get over there and slap you up. It's like, you better catch me first.
And then for no reason, he's just not letting Thor like cross the river.
Yeah.
And the only reason Thor won't get in is because his trousers will get wet. Very interesting stories in there.
Yeah, so that's my next read. Once I finish this, because it's the omnibus, so it's a full book. It's 3 books in one.
Oh, cool.
So that's the Night Lord book, guys.
Ah, yeah.
So it's all 3 books in one. So it's kind of like I've got to read that all before I move on, because otherwise it's
Yeah,
not finish the book. You know what I mean?
yeah. Finish the book before you get distracted with something else.
Yeah. I read fast enough anyway, so not a big deal. When I can be bothered.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get into a groove where I'll literally just churn through a book in a day or two.
You just consume the thing. Kind of makes sense though.
I do like a good read. And then I'm probably gonna once I've read that, I'm probably gonna go back to Purgatorio.
Again.
I'm about halfway through it. I really struggle with Purgatorio.
Difficult to read.
It's just not as interesting as Inferno.
Yeah.
As basically throughout Inferno, Dante Alighieri is being a massive wuss.
Mm.
And in Purgatorio, it's not as scary for him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just not as fun. I did actually find a anime version of Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
And I was like, alright, this could be interesting. But we made Dante Alighieri to be kind of a knight.
Right.
And I'm like, you guys clearly haven't read Dante's Inferno. Because Dante is constantly hiding behind Virgil because he's terrified.
Yeah. Found a weird cartoon, I think it was on Netflix once, called Ragnarok. But it's manga. So it's all the gods, but in a manga version.
Well, that's cool.
It's a bit weird.
Would that be called would that be Magnarok then?
Yeah, it should be.
Magnarok. It doesn't really work, does it? I'll be quiet.
Ragnarok. Yeah, it doesn't quite work. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well. And a little bit of the Dark Reaper on that. Blend that together.
And the old Lindisfarne meme popped up again the other day.
Lindisfarne?
The one about the mysteriously disappearing gold. Monks
Oh, yes.
and the rescued gold.
I knew the name. Well, they did turn up to rescue all the gold.
Yeah. And then monks miraculously disappeared.
Yeah. I mean, if the monks hadn't been all selfish and died, the treasure wouldn't have needed rescuing.
Exactly. Pope needs to have get a grip of his monks, stop them from disappearing.
I hope that's in focus for everybody.
Gotta hate it when it happens, innit? You're busy looting treasure and all of a sudden a bunch of monks disappear.
Yeah. So I'd rather not mind monks. I'm sure they're easily replaceable.
Fresh monks, £5 a pound. Get your monks here.
Still looks a little bumpy for my liking. Right, that's dried up now, so back onto the back of the shoulder pads, which have some transition into them, but I need to bring that blue around a lot more. And it still looks a little patchy. Be nice to get all the armour completely done today. I bet I won't though. It's taking me too long. It's kind of irritating knowing I can glaze these colours on and make them really smooth, but doing this technique, it's gone back to being patchy now, and I'm like, I've got to relearn everything. I shouldn't have took those 2 years off of painting though.
You're busy doing other things, mate.
Yeah, life just getting in the way.
Damn it, good life.
It's persistent, isn't it?
I know. There's always a bill attached to it, no?
Yeah. Bloody
Have one life, pay this.
Have one life and many bills.
Saying that, it's probably going to cost me a fortune when I die. So, oh, by the way, you have to pay this because now you're dead. What? Well, I'm dead!
Some kind of death tax.
Huh, that's handy. That's getting glued in.
What was handy?
Just the way the flight fin sort of fits. It's actually finishes up the same height as the runners.
Yeah. Fair enough. I've not my camera again. Right. Still need more of that blue in there. It's a bit techless. Bit of Thunderhawk.
Bit of tetanus.
Yeah, tetanus. Tetanus for Typhus.
Oh joy! All the edge highlighting in the world to do. Well, I'm going to paint a different colour for a bit. Old copper. Is it here somewhere? Okay.
It should be. You found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this water's starting to dry up super quick now. It's kind of handy, but also frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm back in the other studio and it got to summer.
Oh, we'd have fans on all over the place and
Fans on all over the place. You just put your paint on your brush, it'd be dry before you get it on the model.
yeah, I was glazing in that and that was no fun at all.
No. It does kind of work to your benefit, but you know, because
In certain techniques, yeah, but with glazing, that's the last thing you want. Like,
it does help the main layer that you just put on dry, but it's getting it on there.
yeah, it's like, oh look, it's dried on my brush. Yay. That was fun.
Bit more of the Thunderhawk blue into that.
Okay, let's do this. Angle it towards the camera a little. It's a Quilladon copper.
Oh, that's going to get annoying as it dries. You can see the little patches in it. Never quite sure how dark to make the darkest bit of the armour as well. Make it too dark, it looks like it's not been painted. It just looks like you have prime showing through and you don't want that. Thunderhawk blue. Occupy darkness. Dark Reaper.
Yeah, I think that section's kind of done in the brass, just to break it up a little bit.
That needs brightening up a little bit, so Thunderhawk blue, which actually takes a bit too much colour out, so I have to put some Typhus back in. Yeah, I think I'm getting the knack of the actual process itself. So, yeah, they're looking kind of smooth, at least from a distance. They don't stand up to close-up scrutiny.
That's the first step, isn't it?
Yeah. Eventually I'll be able to get those smooth. Let's work on the front of the shoulders as well now. Just try and get all this finished, so I can move on to the green bits.
So I've got the gold out. May as well do any gold work on this guy.
Now that water is drying so fast.
Is that about the stuff on the model?
Yep. Obviously I'm putting on water first here for anyone who's watching. Same technique as usual. And here I want these highlights on this side to be the brightest as the light's coming this way. So what we'll do is add a little bit of the purity white onto the brush. Then I'm going to add the Typhus blue. And we're going to work that Typhus blue to the white. I think I put a bit too much of that blue on. But I can always just add a little bit more white in. Something I've noticed is really easy to put too much of one colour on the paint, and then they just don't blend on the model very well. I'll darken that out a little bit.
Okay. That's a random noise.
It's Jen turning down the volume on Alexa.
Oh.
Yeah, it must have been at drinking volume.
Oh. That was keep everyone straight up volume level then, was it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alexa, drinking volume. Confirmed.
Yeah, it's drying too quickly, so I've mucked that up. It's not completely smooth. Oh, I saw a picture the other day. Someone painting Black Templars.
Yeah.
And instead of just doing the cloaks that they have as cloaks, they put the time in to do the burlap sack effect. on it, and I was like, dude, that's crazy, but it looks awesome. That must have took so long. And it was proper neat as well. It also looked really fitting for that army. But painting each of those tiny squares and highlighting them, I think I'll save the picture actually, I'll show you.
I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, I've been making folders on our Instagram for like colour references and other random stuff that I find. If I can find the thing. Saved.
I do like the templates, they're cool.
Yeah, check that out. I think it looks amazing.
Oh, wow, yeah. Wow.
It must have took them loads of time to do that, but the effect comes out really well.
Yeah, it's gone for the non-metal metallic armour style as well. Yeah, what seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, I bet it did.
I think that's meant to be, I think that's Helbracht.
Is it?
I think so. I think it might not be, but
If you're going to do an effect like that, you want to do it on a character.
yeah, you're not going to do it in your line troop. Squad Sergeant number 4. It's like, yeah, great.
I like how Squad Sergeant number 4 is just a number.
Yeah. I'm going to paint my entire army like this. 2 models later. Nope.
I think you've done that a few times for yourself.
Yep.
Right, tiny bit of Incubi Darkness. Thunderhawk Blue. Let's blend that over the top. And as the model's still wet, I'll just add a little bit more there, lighten the blue up. That transition doesn't look very smooth. Not yet anyway. Then we're going to have to add some more Techless blue in there for colour.
We can fix it. We can make it better. We have the technology.
Most bad paint jobs are fixable.
I don't know, I'm not sure about my early ones. I don't think there's any retrievability for that.
Dettol.
I don't think Dettol would have sufficed. Maybe fire.
Melt them back down.
Yeah.
Recast them.
Fire them into the sun to remove all trace. No one will ever see this again.
I wish we still had some of our really old paint jobs.
Mate, me too. They'd be ace. Seeing my old bumming high elves. God, they were crap. I mean, I look at some of my models from a couple of years back and I go, wow, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, but it's kind of good to look back at that and like then you can see how much you've actually improved. Just something for comparison, really.
Let me see what I got there. So I can do some silk work on them. That makes sense.
I let my brush dry out a little bit too much, I think, for this. Keeping the paint wet for this blending is part of the trick. Although, you know, that's quite a large panel. I don't usually do them that large, and it's getting done quite quickly.
Which is kind of a point of what you're doing as method 4.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been doing, 1 hour 15 on live stream, so that's not too bad.
You wanted to speed up your paint without reducing quality.
Yep.
So you're definitely on track with that.
Seems like it. The quality is decent for the most part. I just know it's not as smooth as if I just glazed. Glazing takes not much concentration, really.
You've been doing it for that long, mate.
Meditation in motion.
Mm.
I'm hoping that's how this gets. I'm sure over time it will. Right, apply some water. I'm going to hit this panel up here where the light comes in.
I'm just getting a couple of layers done on some of these other marines, just to get them caught up a little bit. My stream's really quiet today.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's done it.
Same. Extremely quiet. Maybe a bit too quiet.
Slanesh is offended. Don't want to be offending Slanesh. Things will get weird.
Things get weird if you don't as well, though.
Things will get weird because you haven't. That's the reason things have got weird. Because you're doing things what don't offend him. If you think about it.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
You walk into a room. Nope, don't want to see that. I'm going to leave. And try and bleach it from your mind.
That won't work.
Just shoot yourself. I've done.
Slanesh should probably bring you back after shooting yourself.
No! Yeah, we want to keep you that in your mind, bitches.
That was just black. And then blend that in. And use my brush to pull it off. I think I'm getting the knack of this now. Considering the size of that panel and how I struggled when I first started, that was it. I think this was the first one I tried this technique on. Everything on here was a little bit flat. But I couldn't manage this panel back then. These panels are about the same size, so yeah, that's definite improvement.
That's something.
I'll pass it over to you and have a look at some point.
Come on.
And looking really closely at it, it's not the greatest, but
It's better
I
than it
could
was.
always layer a wash over this, help with those blends. Although I find I don't tend to use washes anymore.
I don't use them the same way as I used to. Definitely don't use them as much.
I think I've seen you using them as a glaze and that's about it.
Yeah. I need to tie these two colours together.
I'm applying paint. Removing paint. Still needs a tiny little bit more white. This is Purity White by Scale 75. Really want to make that corner just look a little bit sharper.
Other ranges are available.
weird, this technique. I'm tempted to suddenly highlight this bit like the old Games Workshop style, but that's not what I'm doing. The temptation's there to be like, oh, I'll highlight this bit as well. No, you need that in the dark. But because it's an edge, and the way Games Workshop do their painting, which my old style was a sort of a take on that one anyway.
There's nothing wrong with that style.
No, works.
Yeah, it worked. It was good. It's quick, efficient. So I've got a mate who paints his armies up almost exclusively in the Games Workshop sort of style.
Yeah.
I tell you what, mate, his armies always look nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always look nice.
A little bit of inky by darkness here.
It's super neat, that's the thing.
That paint style lends itself so much to the neatness.
Yeah. And it's so fast. It makes me look slow.
Yeah, and you paint very quickly. That's always frustrating though. I'll be like halfway through a project and you'll have done like 3. Sooner or later I'm going to get this to stick and I will start tearing through these models. Hopefully. That's the plan.
Comparatively.
Yeah. You know, hopefully getting things down, like getting all the armor completely finished in like an hour or 2. It's like the goal. Be a ways off that though.
Yeah.
It still looks too black at the back. So a little bit more colour. It will be the darker section, but it doesn't look fully painted like the rest of it.
And it might need a couple of edge highlights in it just to make it look finished.
I just think there's not enough coloured pigment in there, it's too black.
Ah, right, okay.
So it kind of looks like when you airbrush a model and you only use a part of the cone. So it's got that fade on it, but it just doesn't look finished.
Airbrushing. I remember being able to do that. Back in the days when I didn't have to paint a blooming vehicle by hand.
Aye.
Saying that, it's, even with airbrush, you probably have to do this by hand anyway, because it's style paintwork. Paintwork, because of paint scheme.
Yeah. Is it? It's still doing Legion of the Damned over there.
Yeah.
Needs a little bit more Techless blue in this section.
I'm enjoying it, and I can't really bring myself to that demon print. I'm not enjoying painting and everything.
Oh, the converted one.
Yeah. Every time I look at it with something else I've missed, and it's like, oh, crying out loud.
Well, if you're not feeling it, don't bother.
Needs doing though.
Every one of those just goes on the back burner. He has some paint on him.
Yeah. Not happy with him. Some of it works good, some of it works not. But it's not finished, so I'll play why.
Yeah, just bringing yourself to finish it though.
Yeah. I enjoyed painting him. Building him, converting him. I just can't bring myself to paint him.
Yeah, I get that with some models.
It's like, he's do a good job.
Maybe because you spent a bunch of time converting him as well, though, and he's just sick of the sight of it.
Yeah, could be that.
If you end up staring at the same model for weeks on end, you're going to lose patience with it.
Very true.
Bit of black and a bit of incubi darkness. Bring the incubi darkness in around here, and the black just under this shoulder pad.
Tidy up that old copper, another colour. Notice the bit what I've missed.
So the shoulder pad's coming on nicely now. Bit of techless and a little bit of white.
Oh, now some edges again.
Oh, you've got to love edging.
Yippee! The excitement's overwhelming, my friend.
Ah, you love edging. Especially black. Edging black's loads of fun.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait.
It's very unforgiving edging black.
If you do it the standard ways, yeah. My way is a bit more forgiving because the highlights are so bright. Like, it drowns out any screw ups.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the case of going back in with your black as well. But
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I find I concentrate more when edge highlighting black than any other colour. Maybe that's what causes the extra stress on it, is the over concentration.
But you feel like you have to because, again, the highlights really overpower black at times.
Yeah. Dead quiet today on the live stream, except for Martin popping in.
It is, yeah. A little bit disappointing, really. We had a really good week last week.
That we were. Yeah, plenty of people popping in last week. Sort of get stuck for things to talk about as well when there's no one else there.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I could always call it early and put some tunes on.
Let's see how it goes. It's only been an hour 30. But if it stays this quiet, in the next hour probably. I reckon everyone's just outside enjoying the sun or at work.
You can't fault them. Well, you can for work, but, you know, being enjoying the sun and that.
Yeah, who actually goes to work? Work, that's for the peasants.
Just like dry brushing.
Yeah. try and bring out some more of those details. Get the blue back on there. Occupied darkness. Underhawk blue again. And a tiny bit of Typhus. It also seems the smaller the surface you do, the more extreme the two types of paint you should put on a model on your brush are. So you can,
Yeah.
Because it's just easier to blend them that way.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, good, yeah.
You know, rather than trying to do all four of the colour blends, just straight blend them one to the other. It should technically match up colour wise.
Yeah.
A little bit more white.
Well, the GW should update their webpage soon, so should be some successor chapter stuff coming up.
Cool. That'll give us something to talk about. Yeah, I've not really been following along.
Well, you know,
Massive player.
no. If I remember rightly, you haven't played in 9th edition at all.
I think I played a little bit when me and Stu used to hang out.
Yeah.
That was about it. Even then, it wasn't that often. Those two are not painted too badly. I keep forgetting to keep my brush wet though. That's going to be a constant problem in this heat. Yeah, mine's at work too, which I do from home. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Working from home's the best way to do it.
Damn right. If you can get away with it, do it. That's what we do. Well, he does. I don't. I work from his home.
It's not because it saves us on the rent.
Whatever works, isn't it?
Why pay bills when you don't have to?
Bills suck. They should pay me. I wonder if my mate, Captain Machine, still works from home. I know he does some. I know he used to. So he popped in from time to time, didn't
I just forgot what highlight I was supposed to be doing there. It's really easily done with this paint style. Add a little bit of Typhus in there as well.
So I'm being really lackadaisical with the first highlight because I'm going to have to neaten it out anyway.
Alright, thesaurus.
So I'm just taking it really easy, putting the highlights down a little bit sloppier than I would because it's such a large area. I'm going to go in and neaten it out once I've done the final highlight on it. And then obviously, fire.
Fire. Can't remember what that tune's from.
Yeah, it's a song.
Yeah, I can't remember where I've heard it though.
It's an old song.
Ah.
Like 70s or something. I think it might, was it Deep Purple? Fire.
It might be.
Send you to burn.
This pallet up here hasn't even been started yet. Just trying to figure out where the highlights should be.
My mates keep still trying to get Dylan to play 40k, and
Yeah.
now I'm suggesting that he plays Orcs. You know, because nice and cheap.
Yeah.
Full green tide or something. A million blokes.
Can't go on with full green tide.
Apart from the blooming mortgage, what you need to buy the army.
I suppose. Honest, I don't know. What was the points cost of a boy? It wasn't much.
About 8 points each or something stupid.
Yeah, that's a lot of points worth of green tide.
I think he'd like that sort of aesthetic as well, though.
Just completely outnumber your opponent.
The junkyard aesthetic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The sort of the scruffy sort of.
Rustic look.
Yeah.
One of the things I like about them. And they're so much fun to convert. They just lend to converting easier than every other army. Just because they've got a playground of like different weapons and gear that you can make look almost any way you want.
Yeah. I'm not totally sure if he's sold on the game. He did enjoy the day out, but that
Yeah.
might have been just out of it being something different.
Yeah. Muck that one up. Now I'm struggling with the small spaces. I think I just put the wrong colours in the wrong order there. And luckily you can always pull the paint off for the most part.
The perks of 19 fin coats. The only perk of 19 fin coats.
I say there isn't, like the result, that's the only other perk. I will finish this shoulder pad. I think the goal would be to get these results smooth enough that they don't need a wash. That is definitely going to take some practice though. And a little bit of Thunderhawk blue. That was a bit dark, so Incubi Darkness instead. So it was a bit light.
Okay, let's see.
A little bit more blue into that.
Oh dear, the Death Guard groups are gonna go absolutely berserk.
So what just landed?
So, Dark Angels have just got a stratagem to reduce damage incoming.
Yeah.
By 1. 1 CP.
Yeah.
But Death Guard have exactly the same strat. Cost 2.
Yeah.
Oh. Index Blood Angels, let's have a look at that one.
Why would they make that different though?
Because GW.
There's no need to make it different.
I know, but it's still funny. I mean, if I was a Death Guard player, I'd be proper narked, but I'm not. I'm just a regular Chaos player.
Well,
So
they do have the extra toughness though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's why.
So
Bloody Western.
I mean, man ringing. What you want?
I want you to go home and tidy your room.
I think she's missed out. Okay. Angel's Sacrifice. Oh, that's cool. Kill a character, and the unit will get until the end of a battle. Each time a friendly Adeptus Status unit makes an attack against that enemy unit that just destroyed your character, reroll to hit.
That's kind of cool.
Armor of Contempt.
That sounds like a completely new mechanic. I don't think I've heard it in anything else.
Armor of Contempt is the old Armor of Contempt rule, but it's a stratagem now. I think Loyalists get that as well. Regular Loyalists, sorry. I think, actually, I dare say all of them are going to get it. I dare say Chaos aren't, because, you know. 6-inch Consolidate, that's okay. Red Rampage. Until the end of a phase, models get lance and lethal hits.
Lethal hits, that's...
Auto wounding hits, hits
Yeah.
on 6s. Fight on death. And charge after falling back. Armies of War.
Charge after falling back, that was always a bugger.
It's very useful.
Yeah, it sucks if you're an orc player and you go up against someone with that though. Oh, I didn't finish that unit in combat, now they're going to fall back and shoot my ass.
Armies of War's a nice little warlord trait.
What's that?
That's, improve your AP of your weapons by 1 and get to a Palmer save.
That's nice. I'd see that stratagem getting used a lot.
It's it looks like it's a warlord trait or relic or something. Archangel Shard. Start his model only. Various melee weapons get anti-chaos.
Okay.
Icon of the Angel. Makes desperate escape harder.
Makes it more desperate.
Yeah. Master off.
I mucked
4
it up
plus
by
fire
putting
and
the
death.
paints on the brush the wrong way round.
And once per battle, devastating wounds. It's pretty hard too. He's only got 4 attacks, mind. That's it. Ball Predator. Twin Assault Cannon. Heavy Flamers, yeah. Firm Storm. Ooh, Firm Storm's decent. Hey, we've got overcharged engines back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How far does that get you to move now then?
Reroll advances.
Nice.
And gives them assault when they advance as well. Instead of heavy.
Ah, that'd be handy.
Feel no pain. Add 1 attack. Good bellows, alright. Hey, I'm giving Tycho rules.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought you were dead. Well, this model in the unit. Whoa! He was berserk.
Who does?
Tycho.
Yeah?
The first time after an attack, the first time an attack is allocated to this model after the attacking unit has finished making its attacks until the end of the battle, change the attack's characteristic of this model's dead man's hand, its close combat weapon, to 12.
12?
Yeah.
I was just more focused on how many times Games Workshop worded that with attack. Making it a little bit hard to process.
Yeah. Well, my neck is tasty, so I'm a fist on. Okay. Feel no pain 5+ as standard. It gives a unit is leading fights first. 4 feel no pain versus psychic attacks, which is standard for a psychic HUD. Transfixing gaze. At the start of each fight phase, you can select 1 enemy unit engaged with engagement range of this Psyker. On a 1, this Psyker suffers D3 mortals. On a 2 to 5, until the end of the phase, worsen the weapon skill characteristic of a melee attacks by 1. On a 6, until the end of the phase, worsen weapon skill and attacks. Cool. Nice defensive tech there.
Aye.
Dante gives +1 to charge rolls made for his unit, and +1 to hit rolls after charging as well.
Nice. Makes sense.
And messes around with battle shot.
What's battle shot?
It's a new leadership mechanic.
Oh.
Axe Mortalis, lethal hits, 8 attacks.
That's a small amount of attacks.
Death Company Dreadnoughts.
Still not happy with this colour on this bit of the shoulder pad.
So with Death Company, you have to have chaplains around, otherwise they can't hold objectives of any kind or run off.
Yeah.
Otherwise they'll just do what they want to do.
Because of the thirst.
Yeah. Gabriel Seth, what a badass. He advances and charges. And gets extra attacks for every 5 models of the unit.
Oh, that's cool.
Dare say it's like a truck as well.
Is that an aura? Or
No, him personally.
personally?
Each time this model fights, until that fight is resolved, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of this model's Blood Reaver for every 5 models within 6 inches. Not engaged.
Yeah, just within 5.
Within 6. So he can charge into a unit,
Yeah.
provided if he's within 6 inches of a bunch of units, count the models within 6.
Yeah. Nice.
But he can't be in a Blood Angel army because he's a Flesh Terror. Makes sense. Guardian of the Lost. Lamartes makes people immune to damage. Literally immune to damage.
Yeah.
Because of the badly worded rule.
How's it worded?
Subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of the attack.
Oh.
Not to the minimum of 1. God, GW, come on. Librarian Dreadnoughts. Oh, Sanguinary Guard, there we are. Dreadnought, job, get real safe. Sanguinary Guard still suck.
Yeah.
But not as bad. But they still haven't got an inbunt, which is a massive problem for them.
Hmm.
Oh, Sanguinor.
Still not sure about this highlight. I really made a bad decision on deciding what angle the light came from with this project.
That is cool.
Okay, what?
Sanguinor. Once per battle, at the end of your opponent's charge phase, if this model is still in reserves, you can select one enemy model that made a charge move this turn, set this model up on a battlefield within engagement range.
Cool.
So he literally just goes, "Fuck you!" and lands in fighting.
That's cool. Very handy as well.
Tycho the Lost. I'm guessing he's much the same as he is when he's not.
So, again with the Dark Reaper, the Incubi Darkness, then a little bit of Dark Reaper. At the back here, and from the back to the front. Then add a little bit of Thunderhawk Blue.
Templars, cause Templars are cool. Let's have a look at them. Apparently, Dark Angels are meant looking tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a mate who's looking at them.
Then a little bit of Techless Blue. Yeah,
Toughest
Dark
five,
Angels has some
tool
cool
save.
models as well.
Yeah. I hit on 2s in melee. Devastating wounds, sustain, makes absolution. Okay. In a circle. Oh look! Each time -1 damage.
Another -1 damage.
Yep. So no minimum. So another unit was immune to basic weapon fire. Good old G-Dub. Templars. Okay. Can't include any Psychers, of course. Cannot include any of the following models that do not have a Black Templars keyword. And cannot include any of the following models that do not. Oh, right, so all your models have got to have Black Templars. Yeah, obviously. Gladiator, Lancer, Reaper, Impulsor.
We do like the Black Templars around here.
At the start of the first battle round, select one of the 4 vows. Suffer not the unclean to live. Melee attacks have lethal hits.
Cool.
Or you can have uphold the honour of the Emperor. Models in the army feel no pain and increase leadership. It's handy.
Could be handy, yeah.
Abhor the witch, destroy the witch.
That's obviously something to do with killing psychers.
Yeah, this is for when you're up against psychic armies. 4+ invuln versus psychic attacks, and melee weapons.
Damn, that's useful.
Yeah, and melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have 4+ anti-psyker.
That's really handy.
And the last one, accept any challenge no matter the odds. Melee weapons get sustained hits. Fair enough. Nice and simple.
Yeah,
So for the most part, you're probably going to be taking sustained hits, I'd probably say, over lethal. I don't know, depending on what you're coming up against. But they are all situationally good. I like that.
Yep.
Fervent acclamation. Your command phase. Target one character. Select one Templar vow that is not active for your army until the next of your starting of your next command phase. He gets an additional vow.
Okay.
That's very handy. It's only 1 CP, so
Yeah.
you can give him lethal hits and sustained hits.
Ouch.
No escape. Fallback reaction. It's basically we've come for you, I think. Roll 1d6, adding 1 if your result is if you've got to accept any challenge. On a 4+, the enemy unit cannot fall back.
Yeah, handy if you're trying to keep something pinned.
But if they fail the roll, they have to do a desperate escape rather than just a regular walk off.
Doesn't that cost them troops in leadership or something?
Yeah, mortal wounds on like ones and stuff. Devout push. One Astartes unit from your army that has had one or more of its models destroyed as a result of attacking units. Run at you. Your unit can make a normal move of d6, but it must end its move closer to the enemy that just shot.
That's to stop people cheesing it to get around the board, isn't it?
Yeah. If above a witch is active, it's a 6-inch move, but it must end its move either to closer to the enemy unit that just shot, or to the nearest psyker. I do like that they interact with the vows.
Yeah. Just picking the right colours for this can be a bit of a challenge.
Armour of Contempt again. Crusader's Wrath. Melee attacks improve AP by 1. If suffer not be unclean to live, add +1 strength as well.
Nice.
And Vicious Riposte. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit is destroyed, if that model is not 4, roll 1d6, adding 1 if uphold the honour of the Emperor. On a 4+, it gets a fight on death. Cool. Perdition's Edge, increase AP, strength and AP by 1. If used in Suffer Not Be Unclean, get an extra attack as well. Witch Seeker Bolts,
Yeah.
Anti-Psycho 4+, Devastating Wounds, Precision, and if you have a Border Witch, you get to reroll to wound and hit.
Nice.
While target Psychos, I'm guessing. Sigismund Seal, +1 attack. No matter the odds, it gets critical hits on a 5. And then Tannhauser's Bones, half damage, and if you've got a specific vow, 5+ feel no pain.
Lots of interesting buffs.
Grimaldus.
Good old Grimaldus.
What does he do? He's got feel no pain.
Well, besides being a major badass.
He's fairly badass, yep. And his buffs are rerolls to hit in combat, and he gets abilities dependent on which of his relics you pick.
Ooh, what relics does he have?
He's got them servitors hanging around with him, hasn't he? Charge and Eternity Advances, Feel No Pain, improve AP of melee by 1.
All good stuff.
And you can use them in the command phase, provided the relic dudes are knocking about.
Cool.
Crusader squads, basically.
Relic dudes, though, I think.
The little servitors will hang around with him.
Ah.
Hellbrat, let's see what he does. 2 up save, 5 wounds. Is that it? I thought I got more. Anti-infantry 4+, devastating wounds. Oh, because he's got a combi weapon, yeah. Sword of the Iron Marshals, 1 or 200. 12 attacks or 6.
12 attacks or 6, that's quite a big jump.
Yeah, because one's your anti-infantry horde killer. It's like 12 attacks, low strength, low AP, 1 damage. The other one's a hard hitter.
That makes sense.
While leading a unit, add 1 to the strength characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in that unit, and each time an attack is made, a successful unmodified hit of 5 is crit. So it's like that's your lethal or whatever.
Yep.
Sustained or whatever you have. High Marshal, at the start of a 5 phase, select one enemy unit. On a 2-3 suffers D3 mortal wounds, 4 to 5 it suffers 3, on a 6 D3 plus 3. Ouch. Crusader squads, Sword Brethren, Emperor's Champion. Once per phase, he takes a damage characteristic down to 0 and +1 to wound against characters. Marshals, okay. Got a lance. Ah, right, okay, so they've got their own variants of the lancers and tanks and what have you.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I'm just going to add a little bit more Thunderhawk blue to this under panel and a little bit of white.
Wolfies.
We went to Space Wolves now, are we?
Yeah. Okay. You cannot use tactical squads, assault squads with jump packs, devastator squads, command squads, or primaris apothecaries. Makes sense because they don't have them.
Okay.
Uh,
That's quite a list of stuff they can't use.
yeah, because you always had Grey Hunters, Blood Claws, Long Fangs. They never actually used tactical squads. They had slightly different. Right. At the end of a battle round, you can select one of the sagas listed. If that saga was completed by your army, all adepted parties gain associated benefit until the end of the battle. You can only select each saga once per battle. A character kills a character.
I like that dry a little bit too much. And
Astartes models get sustained hits.
Sorry, go on.
So if one of your characters kills an enemy character, you complete the Saga of Warrior Born. All your Astartes get sustained hits in melee. Saga of Majesty.
Add some water to this model.
You've got to complete. You've got to control one or more objective markers in your opponent's deployment zone, and at the end of either player's turn during a battle round. And one or more of Astartes character model from your army were within range of that objective marker. So your character's got to control an objective in your enemy's deployment zone.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do. Improve your objective control characteristic of your army by 1. That's actually really good. So once Saga of Bear, once your a character is reduced to half of their starting wounds or below, you can give your army feel no pain of 6.
That's not the greatest, is it?
No, but it's you reduce them to half. It's like, right, okay, my army's getting 6 plus feel no pain.
Yeah.
For the rest of the game.
Oh, for the rest of the game?
Yeah, all these for the rest of the game.
Okay.
And Saga of a Beast Slayer. Character kills a vehicle or monster. Lethal hits. I'm not concerned. Go for the throw. AP 1. If Saga of Beast Slayer is complete, get Lance. So all again, we've got the same sort of little stacking buffs with their thingy. 5 plus versus psychic attacks. If you've got Saga of the Bear, you get it down to a 4. Death Howl. One Astartes unit from your army was that destroyed one or more enemy units this phase. Till the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a consolidate, gets 6-inch consolidate. If Sergeant Master, each enemy unit within 6 Ventex battle shocks. Nice.
Yeah. This paint is drying far too quickly.
Warrior Pride. In your command phase. Activate for a character, activate a saga for a turn.
Nice.
Only for a single unit though.
But
But it's still nice. It's 1 CP to activate like Feel No Pain or whatever.
Yeah. And just any unit.
Yeah, any unit with a character in it.
Yeah, that gives you some quite a lot of freedom.
Yeah. Relentless Assault's decent. Until the end of your turn, it can shoot even though it fell back. If Saga of Warrior Born has been completed, they can also charge.
What, as advance and charge, did you say?
Fall back and charge.
Fall back and charge?
Fall back, shoot and charge, if you've got...
oh, that's always cheeky.
Yeah.
That can be devastating when used properly.
Yeah. Santa... King of Fenris. Once per battle. Each time this model destroys an enemy unit, gain a CP. Once per battle in your chose phase, this model can use this ability. If it does, until the end of your turn, you can reroll charges for your entire army.
Jesus.
Each time an Adeptus starts from model from your army makes them. So for your entire for the entire army, once per game, you can give your army rerolls to charges and rerolls to hit in melee.
Ouch.
The entire army. It's not an aura, it's like every fucker.
That's decent. It's just for that massive push, isn't it? It's like, it's time for combat now, we want this active.
Yeah. Gives a Niall Stormcaller gives his unit stealth and -1 to wound versus psychic attacks. Bjorn, the Dreadnought. Half damage incoming.
Nice.
Which is particularly useful when it's got Feel No Pain as well. Once per battle, after your opponent uses a strat, this model can use this ability. If it does so, until the end of the battle, that strat is increased by 1. While this model is elite unit, at the start of the fight phase, select one enemy unit with engagement range of this model's unit. Until the end of that phase, each time a model in this model's unit makes a melee attack that targets the enemy unit, reroll 1s to hit and wound. If that is a character, 4 rerolls to hit and wound. And units within 6 inches, friendly units within, get an improved leadership.
Cool.
That's Ulrich. Ragnar. Him and his unit can advance and charge.
Cool.
Makes sense. And at the end of each time this model ends a charge move until the end of the turn, add 2 strength and attacks to his melee attacks.
2 strength?
Yeah, plus 2 strength, plus 2 attacks. So it goes
Nice.
from 8 at strength 6 to 10 at strength 8.
Yeah, that's a big difference. These sound like they'd be a lot of fun to play.
Yeah. Chrome Dragon Gaze, nah, whatever, don't care. Harold Deathwolf, Thunderwolf Dude, Kenneth Wolfborn, more Thunderwolf Dude. We've got battle leaders, basically lieutenants.
The shoulder pad's taking me a lot longer than I'd hoped.
There we go, Blood Claws and Grey Hunters. So Blood Claws get the same sort of ability as Ragnar does, but it's only plus 1 strength and attack. Because
Right.
obviously we're only Blood Claws, not, Ragnar. They have 3 attacks each in combat, okay. And they're a minimum squad of 10. They go up to 15 of them.
Nice.
Grey Hunters, eligible to shoot and full, in a turn it full back or advanced. Very similar to Tactical Marines actually, but slightly better. What do they come with? Bolt gun, close combat weapon, but it can be upgraded to, any model can be upgraded to have a chainsword. Wolf Guard, I bet they just have what the fuck they want, don't they? Yeah, pretty much. Cool stuff. Let's see what the consensus is on from the lads. Okay.
Making a right mess of this now. Cobalt green, and moot green.
have had no viewers.
It's really, really quiet today.
Yeah.
No, I'm not happy with that colour. Carbolight green and a little bit of Mahogany white. I'm not sure what direction I'm going to take this. I think I'm going to go take a quick break as we've only got one viewer on YouTube, which I'm assuming is Martin as well. But so quiet today.
Yeah, man.
Last week we were rocking it.
Blame Canada.
Yeah, I may as well.
Not a real country anyway.
I haven't watched that movie in a while. It must have been a bunch of years. Great movie. It was really, really popular at its time as well.
They won't be now. Too many people will be crying. Saying that, it's Martin Trey in it, they'll be like, yeah, so.
Yeah, because they know it's funny.
Oh no, people are upset by our stuff. Yeah, Johnny Q.
Then be upset. It doesn't really give you any power.
Yeah, it's like, Johnny Q, people who've tried to sue us.
That's probably a lot of people.
Yeah. Literally everybody. You know, I'd try and sue him just out of tongue in cheek because everyone else has. So I'd join the queue, you know what I mean? It'd be like, yeah, I'm going to sue you.
You just want to feel involved.
Yeah. You offended me with your video about me, which I did the audio for. Of course, I thought it was bullying. You can pass the Dark Reaper, mate.
I think you buy darkness. Dark Reaper. I'm having a lot of problems with the keeping things wet on the model.
You have a lot of problems keeping things wet.
Fuck you. I agree with like my big brain dead today. I haven't been able to come up with any comebacks.
Brain were like, you know what, I'm just going to have to let one on slide, pal.
Yeah, my brain's not exactly on point right now. Well, that Merlin's just getting done so far in Carbolight green and Mahogany white.
Whatever works, mate, whatever works.
I don't know if it's going to work as well as I like, but it's something. Slowly getting him painted. one of them days where the heat's just going to be a bit much. The consistency on the surface for the water and the paint has to be just right for this. That'll be what'll happen, right? As I'll spend all summer learning this, and then winter will come, and I'll have to change my technique because the weather's different, and the water takes longer to evaporate.
Yeah, no doubt.
Keep drifting off my camera as well. Maybe I'll put a little bit of that inky bright darkness in there.
My mate's just noticed a flaw, another flaw, shall we say.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can have two Logan Grimnars.
How?
One's on a chariot thing,
Yeah.
and the other one's on foot.
Ah.
Again, for lack of proofreading. GW strikes again.
This is just going on terribly. Yeah, nothing about that smooth. I'm just going to go take a quick break. Where's the back in 5? Do you need a warm up?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Still dead on the stream.
Yep.
It's proper nice out there. Someone's cooking something proper decent.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you exactly what the smell was, but
It
damn,
smells
it's good. Yeah. I'm not sure.
That's a
about
salty case play there.
What's that?
It's saying fuck Wolfguard Terminators. I'm like, why? It's like, go look at the backside of their sheet, the war gear allowances. I'm like, we've been able to do that since second edition. It's never changed.
What?
He's just salty about the fact that we've lost some of our options to customization, whereas Wolfguard didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, customization though, I like that.
Yeah, and Wolfguard have always had the most of it. It was like,
See, I wasn't aware of that, not being a Space Marine player at all. Now, mixing those two together, I get a slightly lighter green, which seems to be a bit more fitting. I just needed to take 5 so I can get back and focus on what I was doing. You know, you've just done the same thing for far too long.
yeah, you just wanted a sig really, didn't you?
Didn't even have a sig, mate. I haven't got any. Like, we were supposed to be quit. It's just like,
Well,
Sick
what
as
I
sick,
recommend
man.
is you quit when you're not planning on going away in a couple of weeks.
yeah, the going away was like spontaneous, pretty much. Yeah, this works a lot better with the milk green as the highlight. Now I need to darken some of that down a little bit. Try the incubi darkness. Paint that into those recesses. Nurglings, they're always so happy.
Yeah, they're cheeky little chaps.
Cowboy green, and a little bit of the milk green.
And they're like hitch rides off Great and Clean ones and that.
I suppose you would if you had those tiny legs.
Apart from Kugoth,
Gugoff?
the Great and Clean one special character.
Oh, the one with the helmet on?
No,
No?
no. Kugoth Plaguefather. He's actually, in certain fluff, he's actually a Nurgling what overgrew.
Ah.
And he rides around on other Nurglings.
Ah, I know the one you mean.
Yeah. Because he's too busy cataloguing infections and creating new ones to worry about walking, so the Nurglings do it for him. Which has got to suck for the Nurglings.
Yeah. Right, a bit more milk green in those bits.
And there's a particular dislike for dwarves.
Why is that?
Because they're really resistant to infection.
Makes sense.
They don't get poorly, and you don't like it.
Makes his job harder.
Yeah. So how am I meant to test all these illnesses if you just won't get them?
Would be a problem, like. You'd think that would then have him come up with much better diseases over time. Because it'd have to be really infectious.
It's got to be irritating, hasn't it? You make this infectious disease and it's like everyone else gets it, and then the dwarves, it's like, I want to see what it does on dwarves. Oh, naff all, just like every other time. Oh, look, one of his beards fell off, so he's become a troll slayer. Great. That's all he did. It just depressed him.
A dwarf without a beard.
That's why he became a troll slayer.
I'm not sure what the correlation between those two is.
Troll slayers and dwarves, beards, obviously the point of pride for a dwarf, isn't it?
Yep.
And troll slayers are dwarves who've had some kind of infringement to their pride.
Ah.
So they want to commit suicide.
Okay.
But the dwarves so too proud to actually go out and off themselves.
Yeah.
So they have to go out and fight it in battle. Well, because of dwarves, they won't let themselves just die.
Yeah, they're sort of stuck there.
They're sort of like, you have to kill me, but you have to beat me first.
And that's going to be hard to do.
Because I'm a dwarf.
Stubborn little bastards.
Yeah, we don't even die properly. So I want to die,
Just refusing.
but I'm not going to let you do it easy. It's like, what? What's the point? I thought you wanted to die.
It's not the smoothest of greens, but there's still time to work on it. We have something now anyway. I do like the vibrance of it. And to be honest, the shading on him's come out quite well. Well, the light's coming in from this angle across here, so this will be the highlighted bit. I want to make his face much darker and start getting used to the complete contrasts. That way I can just make things look a lot more detailed and easier for the eye to process. So what else on here has a green hue to it? It would be the incubi darkness. So I'm going to wet the model up a little bit more.
Oh, I'm shutting this one down. I've literally had no views.
Yeah. It's one of them days.
But yeah, we turned up, we did our thing.
Yeah, not much came of it, but I do think a lot of it's going to be the weather, stuff like that. Or is it Bank Holiday Monday or something and we just don't know?
I don't know.
Right, so it's going to be incubi, darkness and cowboy green. Yeah, that kind of works. It's a bit of an awkward one to paint in between Typhus and the Nerglin. So now I know what colours I want to use. I should be able to get that to blend quite well on the back. Just apply some water first. Keep eye darkness, carbolight green. And since I put the brighter colour on last, we'll start over here. Not enough of the bright colour. Tiny bit more. And then I will blend that bit into the milk green. So from the milk green area down into there. It's not perfectly smooth. I'm sure smoothness with this will come just over time. Gonna need some more dark shading in there. So, Incubi darkness, carbolight green, whatever it is called.
Carbolight.
Yeah, carbolight, I keep forgetting. Let's blend that back out. He's a happy little nerdling.
He's a happy accident.
You could call him that as well. That was far too dark. Let's add in a bit of the green. Mix in for this leg a little bit more milk. If I can get some on the brush. at times it's kind of fun just switching these colours up and seeing what you can blend together.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I've not been doing very well today, keeping the model on camera.
Have you not?
No, I've been drifting off, focusing on what I'm doing.
Yeah, fair enough. It's gonna happen. I think subconsciously though, you're probably fully aware that we've got no views, so you're less inclined to try.
Yeah, maybe. That makes sense. Give the arm a little bit more definition. Painting the shade in there, using the inky by darkness. And just rub the rest off. I think it looks a little bit strong now. If I keep wetting my brush and going over it, I'll just pull most of that paint off. There we go, it looks a little bit more defined now. Trying to figure out what's going on with his hand down here.
Is it a strong hand?
It might be, I don't know where his hand's going or what it's holding on to.
You might not want to know.
Yeah, probably not, to be honest. Don't know where he's been.
You don't know what he's got? Well, actually you do.
Everything.
So, does this look infected? You're a Death Guard Marine? So probably?
It would be a safe bet, wouldn't it? Just yes.
I'm not going to look, I'm just going to close my eyes and wait for you to go away. Can you go find somewhere else to be, please? Yes, it probably does look infected. No, I'm not taking a look.
The diseases with no cures, which Papa Nerva will be responsible for a lot of. Or is the cures for some of them?
Usually it's fire.
So the Sister Sororitas then. We shall cure your diseases.
Sorted. No one's ill anymore.
Everyone's a little crisp.
I love it on that. You get shit like that and they're fucking good guys. It's easier just to kill everybody.
Safer as well.
Yeah, too.
Fire purifies.
Let's just wipe out the planet and forget all about the problem.
Aye. Right, Incupied Darkness, I'm going to try using a bit of Mahogany White for this highlight, but it's probably going to be a bit much. Kind of work, because it's taken the colour out of the face, which in turn helps make it look a bit more shaded rather than the vibrant yellow on the opposite side. Something I'm definitely learning with that. Where to add more bright colour in and where to mute it to make it look more natural. A bit of water on the back of him. So, I should have done that in the other order. Right, Carbolight Green on the brush and then Incupied Darkness. And we're going to start with the Incupied Darkness at the back. Adding a little bit of black there, but that's probably going to be too much now. Easily done. The other problem with this is you start to blend your paints in the palette by putting the two colours on the brush at once. So you end up with all these little black dots in your colours. might dry a bit, I think, so I don't smudge too much of it. Put a little bit of Thunderhawk blue on there for the other side of the face, and a little bit of milk green. I'm trying to make the face have a much more dramatic definition between the light side and the shaded side.
Like Nurgling, yeah?
Yeah, just seeing what I can and can't do with it. The moment is a very happy looking chappy. Typhus is on a bring a Nurgling to work day. Yeah, it's coming along. This time I really don't want much paint on that brush at all, just like a wash. Put a tiny bit of mute over the blue bits that we did, just to help tone it together. Nurgling eyes are tiny.
He's not painting a Nurgling ass crack.
Oh, I've already done the ass crack. Colour wise, that's kind of what I was thinking originally, so I'm quite happy with the colour. Not happy with all the shading though. Some of it's just rubbish. There seems to be a difference between painting fleshy stuff and armoured stuff with this technique.
Over as most things, I suppose. The way you glaze on a armour is different to the way you glaze on face.
Yeah. It's interesting though. I buggered it up. Far too much paint on. I was too enthusiastic. Again, I'm just rushing this now and mucking it up. Well too enthusiastic with that paint. Now there's so much of it, it's going to be hard to blend. Let's try and pull most of that off. point is trying to paint a bunch of the milk green in little circles and then highlight spots. As long as the model's wet, you can always blend other stuff back into it. See, that's a bit bright, so a bit more of the carbonite green in there. Well, I think at that point he's got some pretty good definition. Not the smoothest on the back, that can get worked on a bit. Yeah, I think that highlight should really hit the back there. Definitely this fat roll there that you can't see because the Man Reaper's in the way.
It's not fat, he's big boned.
Well, isn't that what all fat people say?
It's glandular. In his place, it probably is.
Yeah, it might be actually. He might actually have a medical condition. Damn it.
Wonder what would come on at Death Guard's medical. There'd be a checklist of what you don't have. So
Yeah, I was thinking.
tick the boxes what you don't possess, so we can fix it.
Yeah, it would be though, wouldn't it? It's like, if you're trying to get all the disease,
Yeah.
is there a waiting list?
I'm sorry, pal, but you're just too healthy. Can't join. You can't go on deployment. You need to take some sick leave.
Which would actually be sick leave. I like it.
Go and find somewhere to get ill.
Sitting in a swamp for a week.
Mate, you should read the fluff of a fucking plague planet. It's It ain't exactly Butlins, mate.
Yeah. What is it, more like Skeg Vegas?
Probably smells like it. It's called a plague. It's well named
Yeah, I can imagine it would be.
for Plague Planet. They have tech marines. What are that infected? But they actually become part of the factories.
Cool. Part of the ship, part of the crew. Keep remembering that quote from like Pirates of the Caribbean a lot recently. It's like I was saying this morning with that ivy, it feels like it's gonna consume you if you sit next to it for like too long.
It grows like wildfire, doesn't it?
Aye. It has its own little ecosystem in there though, it's weird. No, I've got to muck that right up now, damn it. I was able to rub most of that off, luckily. And that bit can probably be rescued. I just make it look like a wound and just paint it in freehand.
Right. Now to go back over with a black and tidy up the lens.
Spending a bit longer on this Nervin than I thought I would. They're kind of fun to paint.
A little bit different, isn't it? Their expressions are different as well. They're like usually pretty happy with their lot in life.
Yeah, they seem quite content. Unless they have some disease that just makes them smile all the time.
Well, that happens to what's it? Poxwalkers.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's one of the novels, Lords of Silence, is about the Death Guard, but it's from a perspective of one of their cultists or a traitor guardsman who gets infected or whatever, you know what I mean? And he's slowly becoming a poxwalker.
Cool.
And he doesn't know until eventually he sees himself in a reflection.
That'd be weird, like
Yeah.
being that unaware for that long. Or does the condition just prevent him from seeing it? Is that like the point you're getting at?
I don't know, but he's walking around smiling, not knowing. Darker black. It was a while back that I read it. I do remember his surprise when it turned out he was a poxwalker.
Yeah. I suppose it would be. If all of a sudden you look in the mirror and you're like, damn it, I've been a poxwalker for for ages, I didn't notice.
Well, yeah, because he was involved in an attack on an Imperial Guard outpost. And he was like, "Look, I'm trying to help you, I'm trying to help you." And they're like, shoot at him.
Yeah.
Because
I could imagine that being confusing.
they're not, he's not making any sense.
I just think he is.
Yeah.
The helpful poxwalkers. All poxwalkers want to do is help.
I just want to give you a hug. What's wrong with that? Just want to share in the bounteous joy of Nurgle.
I thought I say bouncy castles.
Maybe that too.
I could see a Death Guard mucking around on bouncy castles. Then again, it was pop.
Or get infected.
Infected bouncy castle. Sounds interesting.
Oh, we have an infected wood as their fortification.
That makes sense because woods are
It's a-
succumb to decay and rot quite well.
And it's also part of the cycle of life, what Nurgle's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Just to blend that in a little bit more, so a little bit more of the calibre in
You almost said it right.
there.
Yeah, almost. You said calabite, not cabalite.
Yeah. Ah,
You're close.
closer than before, I think. I'm always getting my paint names messed up.
Yeah, you try.
Effort is made.
Yeah. What can people say? You try. You don't claim to be something you're not.
True. That's really coming along now. Then I want to make the transition even darker on that side, so a bit of the incubi darkness in there. And you can't see properly because the Man Reaper keeps getting in the way.
GW model syndrome.
Yep. Hopefully you can see that.
Tell you what, it's one thing I don't miss about War Machine tournaments.
What's that?
The non-painted models. I
Yeah.
see it a lot. Unpainted models. Used to really annoy me.
War Machine. That's one of the big robots, isn't it?
It's a really nice fix, isn't it?
There is actually.
People just didn't bother painting. I mean, some people did, but a lot of people did bother.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just a grey army, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, really bore. Really
Sort of
bore.
ruins the immersion of the game.
Yeah.
To highlight that little bit there where his spine would be. And then the top right of his other butt cheek.
But you weren't expected to be doing that today.
I was not. But here I am.
Here we are, painting Nurgle assets.
I'm not going to go into that much detail.
Getting somewhere now, son.
Yeah. Have a look at that.
Sounds like someone's watching a kids show.
Yeah, probably.
Got us
Kids
probably.
next door. Yeah. Got some okay transitions on this. It's not perfect. I wonder how much just plain water can be used after this model's dry, just to move the last of the pigment around a little bit, maybe smooth it out. It's been so quiet in here, your ears just trying to listen to whatever's going on around you. It just happens to be next door's sound.
Mm-hmm.
What colour to do with the tongue? Got a bit of Bugmans here. Let's see what Andy's been up to. This is what Andy's been working on all day on Twitch. You're not putting some flames on these bits.
Oh yeah. I'm just getting edge eyes down first. That's what I always do.
Oh right, I would have thought you'd have just done it in the reverse way.
No, because the edge highlights sometimes get overrun by the flames.
You've got side bits to put on as well, haven't you?
It's only skids. It's only
Yeah.
these.
I remember you saying the other day, like, yeah, you glue these on once you've done the flames. Cockpit's really snazzy though. So are the pilots.
I've got loot.
Right. Bit of Bugmans, I think, for that tongue. Right, I'll try and get on to make some of the teeth. They're going to be difficult now. Sort of painted them a bit too dark so I can't see where they are. Just dabbing my brush into the dark at this point. It's one of those situations where the magnifying glass comes in really handy.
Yeah, definitely do with one.
You've got one under your desk.
No, I want one of them headset ones.
Oh yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Did you try and ring me earlier? Ah, right. I thought it was the case. It was a missed call. It was a because he hung up straight away. But I thought I'd give you a ring back just to make sure everything's all right. Yeah, everything's good. Do you want some strawberry plants? Yeah. Okay. I'll bring some down on Wednesday for you. I'll come over and see you and bring some in. So yeah. Sarah's got loads. You see, loads of little spiders, strawberry spiders. So she's cut a load up for anyone who wants them. Have you? Fair dues. Well, you've got some now. I'll bring them. I'll bring them on Wednesday. Yeah, fair dues. All right. I was just checking to make sure that everything all right, because obviously I've got a missed call there. So. All right, ma'am. See you Wednesday. Bye. No, nothing. Missed wrong number. As suspected. Well, I thought actually hung up like straight away. Indicated that, but I thought I sometimes hang up by accident instead of answering.
Yeah, I've done that a few times. Put the phone too close to your face or something.
Yeah.
Or just swipe the phone in a bad manner and it's like, oh, balls. When you're half awake and you're trying to swipe something, it's like, oh, I swiped it away.
Yeah. New definitely per model's cool.
Let's have a look. Cool. I like it.
It's snazzy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it looks like a proper display style model as well with that pose.
Yeah.
I reckon there's a lot can be done with a paint job. Yeah, I've got a lot more green to paint on this yet. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. The Nurgling was fun. These pipes, I love the detailing on these pipes. They're a pain to paint. Do people go from the inside out or from the outside in with these? With this style of pipe, I tend to paint the outside first, then use washes to fill in the bits in the middle. So, knowing how I did the Nurgling, I'm going to add Carbonite green and milk green to my brush. Start in a highlight. Right. I'm going to start in a highlight area. I just need that water to dry up a little bit to make the work surface more usable. So the bright green at the top, and then blending in the dark green at the bottom.
I've got to chuckle at, Matty.
What's that? Inappropriate memes.
Is there any other kind?
Crap ones. Really quiet today, except for Martin having a chat. A little bit more milk green on the top there now.
Women's hockey, just like men's hockey, but with more periods.
Gonna make sure the dark shades match up now. I think I may have put a bit too much paint on that bit. It's not paying enough attention to what I was doing. Model hull red in the tongue. Might put a little bit of that in the gap for the mouth as well, just to separate it from the rest of the model. I'm going to have to repaint those teeth now. It is now 4 o'clock and it's been quite a quiet day, so I think I want to finish the YouTube live stream. Thanks for everyone for watching, and we will be back on Wednesday. We'll catch you all in the next one, guys.